Welcome! Today's lesson is about personal pronouns. You need to do some exercises, so it might be useful to get a pencil and paper before you continue watching this video. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define what personal pronouns are, identify the different personal pronouns of the first, second and third person, identify the form of the personal pronouns, and complete sentences with the correct form of personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are words that we use instead of a person, animal or thing. They make sentences easier to read. Personal pronouns are used to refer to the person who speaks, the person who is spoken to, or the person who is being spoken about. Let's have a look at the following sentences. In the sentence, I will be home in time for the football match, the personal pronoun I, the first person, refers to the person speaking. In the sentence, you are going to pass your exams with flying colors, the personal pronoun you, the second person, refers to the person spoken to. In the final sentence, she is the smartest girl in class, the personal pronoun she, the third person, refers to the person spoken about. This table shows all the personal pronouns of the first person. If the number is singular, we use I in the object form and me in the subject form. If the number is plural, we use we and us. We will discuss the subject and object form later on in this video. Note that the personal pronoun I is always written with a capital letter. In the second person, we use the personal pronoun you for both singular and plural number, as well as the subject and object form. In the third person, we make a distinction not only in number and form, but also in gender. If the number is singular, we have the masculine personal pronouns he and him, the feminine personal pronouns she and her, and the neuter personal pronoun it. We use the personal pronoun it in both subject and object form to refer to things or animals. For example, my computer fell on the floor and now it is broken. In this sentence, it refers back to a thing, my computer. If the number is plural, we use they and them regardless of gender. Look at the following sentences and write down for each sentence the correct personal pronoun. Sentence 1. My mother told, ? To go to bed. However, I wasn't tired. 2. John fell on the floor. We helped. ? 3. Chocolate ice cream is the best. I love. ? 4. My family lives in Amsterdam. Therefore, I don't see ... often. Kitty always gets high grades. ? Must be very clever. As I mentioned earlier in this video, we distinguish two forms of personal pronouns, the subject form and the object form, and it might be a good idea to refresh your memory on basic sentence analysis. We use the subject form when the function of the personal pronoun in the sentence is the subject or a part of the subject. We use the object form of the personal pronoun when the function of that personal pronoun is the direct object, the indirect object, or a part of them. First, we have a look at the subject form. Regular word order in English is subject, verb, object. So usually the subject precedes the verb. In the sentence, I lost my phone at a party, the personal pronoun I is the subject, lost is the verb, and my phone is the direct object. In this sentence, the personal pronoun I is the subject, and to be more precise, I is the subject and the person speaking and singular. So the first person singular subject form is used. This table shows all the subject form personal pronouns. If the number is singular, we use I in the first person, you in the second person, and he, she or it in the third person. If the number is plural, we use we in the first person, you in the second, and they in the third person. We use the subject form of the personal pronouns when their function in the sentence is the subject or part of the subject. There are, however, some additional rules. Number 1. In formal English, we also use the subject form of the personal pronoun after a form of to be and before a relative pronoun. In the sentence, "It was I that saved the damsel in distress," which is a rather formal expression, the personal pronoun I is preceded by a form of to be, was, and followed by a relative pronoun, that. The second additional rule. We also use the subject form to refer to people where we use a demonstrative pronoun in Dutch. Where are your parents? They are on vacation. In het Nederlands is dat: waar zijn jouw ouders? Die zijn op vakantie. I called the doctor, but he had a day off. In het Nederlands is dat: ik heb de dokter gebeld, maar die had een dagje vrij. We saw earlier that the third person subject form it is used to refer to things and animals. This rule does not apply when we refer to pets and means of transport. And finally, the personal pronoun it can also be used to identify people. In the sentence, "Have you seen my new computer? I bought it yesterday." In this sentence, standard rules apply because it refers back to a thing, namely my computer. In the sentence, "Can you hear my cat?" She is snoring. She refers to the cat because the cat is a pet, and in this sentence I chose for the feminine personal pronoun. In the sentence, "Who is that man over there?" Oh, it is our new teacher. He teaches English. The personal pronoun it in the second sentence is used to identify that man over there. And if we give additional information about that man, we use the normal feminine or masculine personal pronouns. He teaches English. Note, the personal pronoun it is always followed by a singular verb. The second form of personal pronouns is the object form. We use the object form when the function of the personal pronoun in the sentence is the direct object or indirect object, or if the personal pronoun is part of the indirect or direct object. Where regular word order in English sentences is subject, verb, object, we usually find the object after the verb. In the sentence, "My mother told us to do the dishes," the personal pronoun of my mother is the subject. The verb is told, and the personal pronoun us is the indirect object, and to do the dishes is the direct object. In this sentence, the personal pronoun us is the indirect object. Therefore, the object form of the personal pronoun is used. The object personal pronouns are, if the number is singular, me in the first person, you in the second person, and he, she or it in the third person. If the number is plural, we use us in the first person, you in the second person, and them in the third person. We use the object form of a personal pronoun when its function in the sentence is the direct object, indirect object, or part of the direct object or indirect object. However, there are some additional rules. In informal English, we also use the object form of a personal pronoun after a form of to be and before a relative pronoun. This rule looks similar to the one for subject form pronouns, but in case of subject form personal pronouns, it applies to formal speech, and with object personal pronouns to informal speech. In the sentence, "It was me that walked the dog yesterday," the personal pronoun me is preceded by a form of to be, namely was, and followed by the relative pronoun that. We also use the object form after a form of to be, after a preposition, after but or except, and in one-word answers. For example, knock knock, who's there? It is me. The personal pronoun me follows a form of to be, is. In the sentence, "Are you listening to me?" the personal pronoun me follows to, which is a preposition. In the sentence, "Everyone was invited except me," me follows the word except. And in the sentence, "Who drank the last milk?" the one-word answer is me. Note, the personal pronoun it is always followed. The final addition to the basic rule is that the third person object form it is omitted, left out, after some verbs. The most important verbs are to ask, to know, to mind, to remember, to show, to tell, to try and to understand. In the sentence, "I know you told me, but I don't remember," we leave out it because it follows the verb remember. In the sentence, "I desperately wanted to know what her age was, but I was too afraid to ask it," we leave out it because it follows the verb to ask. Let's have a look at the sentences from the first exercise. In the sentence, "My mother told to go to bed, however I wasn't tired," the personal pronoun has the function of indirect object, so we must use the object form. Furthermore, I is an indication for the first person and singular, so the correct personal pronoun should be me. My mother told me to go to bed, however I wasn't tired. In the second sentence, "John fell on the floor, we helped ? The personal pronoun has the function of the direct object, so we must use the object form. Furthermore, it's a third person, male and singular, so the correct form of the personal pronoun should be him. John fell on the floor, we helped him. In the third sentence, "Chocolate ice cream is the best I love ? The function in the sentence of the personal pronoun is the direct object, so we must use the object form. Furthermore, it's the third person, a thing or neuter, and singular, so the correct personal pronoun is it. Chocolate ice cream is the best. I love it. In the fourth sentence, "My family lives in Amsterdam, therefore I don't see ? Often." The function of the personal pronoun is direct object, so we must use the object form. Furthermore, it's the third person and plural, so we must use them. My family lives in Amsterdam, therefore I don't see them often. And the last sentence, "Kitty always gets high grades ? Must be very clever." The function of the personal pronoun is the subject, so we must use the subject form. It's the third person, female, so the correct personal pronoun should be she. Kitty always gets high grades. She must be very clever. We have seen that personal pronouns indicate the person, the number, and the gender of the person or thing we refer to. We also have seen that personal pronouns can function as the subject, indirect object, or direct object of the sentence, or a part of them. Furthermore, we have seen that personal pronouns have a subject form or object form. We also had a look at all the different pronouns. And lastly, we looked at all the rules regarding subject form personal pronouns and object form personal pronouns. Read both paragraphs and fill in the correct personal pronoun. Give all possibilities if there are more, and explain your answer. Paragraph 1. My friend loves computer games. 1. Has at least 50 of. 2. You and 3 are both good at playing computer games. 4. Especially like to play race games. At the moment, Max Verstappen is the most promising Formula 1 driver. 5. Won his first race in Spain, and now 6. Is on the cover of Formula 1 2017. The second paragraph. Jake and I left early. 7. Had a busy day ahead. 8. Went to Jake's aunt and uncle. 9. Have bought a house in Spain. 10. Offered Jake to accompany 11 on the trip, because the house will be used as a holiday home. What's need to be tested especially by 11. Well, that's all folks. I'll see you in next lesson, and don't forget to bring your homework with you.